Okay, we're going to do a little overview of this layout. This is the old bin that's leaving. This is the new bin that we marked out when I was on site on Thursday. I show the unload coming out this way. That can be moved some. This gives us a nice amount of room for this new bin here, a future bin that we can move that around. And if you look here, you can see this bunk setting here, and the concrete comes out about to the edge of that bunk. We leave the edge of the pad here about where the fan is, and then we come out here, come out around, front here where the unload is. We're out 3 foot maybe, just kind of cuts out across there. Out of this bin, which is going to be the wet bin, we have a dual tube chain conveyor going up to dump into the top of this grain dryer. With where that's setting, I'm showing for overall length on this conveyor, I'm showing a 51 foot 5 inches. So for ordering that conveyor, I would do not less than 55 foot. Like I would do a 55 foot conveyor overall length, just to make sure that you have enough. Sometimes things don't hold out exactly as drawn, so I like to figure a little bit extra because it's easy to cut the tubes down on them. Then we have this auger to come out here to dump into that. We have shown at 32 foot. I would do that just an 8-inch auger off the bottom of that hopper bin, coming over to dump in this double run. That way I can go up here and dump in there. So that's shown at a 32 foot. I'd figure 35 foot, something like that. 35, 38. Dual tube chain conveyor, figure at 55. So then we have a spout coming off of, so this double run comes up here, and then to load out off of that wet bin and that hopper bin, to load them out in the off season, we have a spout coming off of the dryer. Now, the dryer without the legs is, it's a TC 165. So without the legs is 26 foot. I understand it has 4 foot legs, so that would make it 30 foot tall. So 30 foot tall, and we are, if we look here, we are 22 foot from the center of the dryer to the end of that spout. And so we're 32 foot from the center of the dryer, 22 foot from the center of the dryer to the end of that spout. So that would mean on here we have 22 foot, 37 degrees. If we're 30 foot tall, that would give us 13.5 foot under the end of that spout. It's less than I would like to see, but it's kind of the only thing I was able to get figured out for loading that bin out. And I show a 4x4 tower here, but that could be a 2x4 or whatever or a 2x2 or however you want to do that. So I'm just going to push this up to 8 foot, just so we remember what that is. That's our electrical building there. This support right here, this support height is a 24 foot. It's figured. That tower. So I'm not sure on the top here if we can gain another foot here. It would really work good, or if the legs are 5-foot legs, that would really work better. Also, not sure how high this concrete's going to be. Every bit that concrete gives us, that'll help us out here. But actually, if we ever put a dump pit out here, that'll raise that up to this concrete level. So we really don't have any benefits there. So we are maxed out on that. And the dryer with that setting like that to put our air system in, I'm not sure. I'm guessing you would set the blower like in here, run the pipe under here, and take it back. So what I was thinking, and I will draw this to see if it holds out. So if our blower sets here, that wouldn't work. We need to have our blower pipe could maybe come over through here like this. So like that right there, which that's 50 foot from the unload back to the sidewall of this bin, of that existing bin. And maybe that's what we need to do, is have the blower set in here and blow back through and have a 30-degree elbow here and kick across here and run back through here. Have I think it would be a 60-degree elbow if we have our blower setting front here. We run the pipe back here, 60-degree elbow, and then airlock, and then back across here. Your dryer centers on this 14 foot by 28 foot pad. And then I show this support tower that is, I show a 4x4, but I would, that could be a 2x2 or a 2x4. That's up to the installer, what they recommend or what's economical on their part. Then the electrical building is a 7x14. If we can't get this spout high enough, we could just do a drop pipe down the back to dump into a transport auger. That would be an option to bypass the dryer and go down the back and or down the side and run something of that sort. So I'm going to let that up to the installer. I don't want to tell the installer exactly how to do this support tower because we're very limited. I personally would go with a support tower here and then put this spout out and maybe upsize the spout and run it at like 36, 37 degrees, and it should work fine. But as long as we have over 35 degrees, that spout should be fine, so long as it's plenty big enough. So that's what I would do there. So the dual tube chain conveyor length is 55. The auger underneath here is 32, 38, something like that. And then you have your TC165 grain dryer. So what we'll do is we'll go like this. Now there's the measurement going over the corner of that bunk there. These are measurements, existing measurements you want to verify, but they're going to be very close to what we're working with. So that should be everything. That should get you what you need to know to get started.